the election cycles, some businesses or some sectors or some industries suffer, sometimes no business. And I've gone through something similar in 2007. So within our consultancy, we said we wanted to create a platform that would take advantage of relationships that we wanted to leverage to help people to begin to understand, particularly how to do business in Western Kenya, that very often suffers negative press, particularly again at election time because of maybe violence and things like that. So we created a platform that in 2.5 years is actually beginning to drive the agenda in Western Kenya on agribusiness. We have a platform that with one event that we organized after a lot of work, we're almost raising $1 million for farmers in Western Kenya with one conference. Right now on that platform, we've got every county, 10 counties in Western Kenya where we work actually bidding to host the next event. And what do we do? It's very simple, really. It's what you're doing here today. We bring friends, we mobilize on social networks, people who are experts in agri, from development world, from banks, etc. And we pair them up with farmers and the opportunities in the region, which if you went front door trying to knock their doors, they look at you and think that, you know, we never do things in that area, or we don't see opportunity in that area, but we're able to sit with people off their office hours when they're more relaxed, and we're able to talk and we're able to chat. And right now, there's a lot of value actually being created for the same story that we're creating in Western Kenya. I can tell you, there's 2 counties in Central Province, traditionally what was, and also one at the coast and one in Rift Valley, saying, how can you come and help us also leverage on relationships that we have to be able to create a similar story so that our farmers can find support. We can actually be able to grow entrepreneurs out of those who are farming. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, hi everyone. I'm in entertainment business. I'm a DJ and I'm also a music producer. For me, our business depends so heavily on what relationships and the networks you have. Unlike other businesses where they are so dependent on systems and structures, entertainment depends on 2 things in my head. One is, can you do the job and who do you know? Simply, are you a good artist? Are you a good musician? Are you a good DJ? Yes, so talent is not a problem. Value is not a problem, but how quick can you turn around this talent into a job? Which means I can make a phone call, I can talk to my friends. Secondly, our business has contours, fluctuations. It's seasonal sometimes, so there's peak, there's off peak. How do you go through the off peak seasons? Which means basically people like to work with you. People like how you like to keep time, how the charisma. People like how you basically take into consideration the value that you're giving. People like how you take their businesses seriously. And basically that's how I look at relationships in my business. Apart from the quality and the skill that you have and the knowledge and value that you're going to offer, is it easy to work with you? Do you respect what my business is about? Case in point, Most Sound, part of the organizers are very good clients of mine, but then again, they're also friends. So whether there's business or not, I do think about their business occasionally. I want to be part of what they're doing. I like to know what are they doing, and how are they changing the market, how are they changing the industry. We don't always look at the other person as a competitor. And for me, that's just part of the ways we look at the networks and relationships in my industry.
Thank you for always coming through. These are the front. And these gentlemen in front here are very interesting. In fact, I think I'll let the mic. One of them said it's important to sit in front in case the president walks in. You might get a chance to form a new relationship. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening, guests and my fellow colleagues. I work in the Strathmore Business School, and as I look around, I'm glad to see some of our alumni in the room. My name is Paul Ouma, and I'm responsible for entrepreneurship and family business at the Strathmore Business School. We introduced the family business program, which is in its third year running, and it's quite successful, I must say. In Strathmore, I'll first explain how relationships is crucial to our model. Our success as a university, and especially the business school, is measured by the quality of our graduates. So in Strathmore, the Strathmore Business School, if you're able to get George, all right, who last year sat in that nice big chair, to go to the next level, then we say that we've been able to deliver. Now, how do we do that? First, we don't just look at the degree that the student, for example, is going to get. We look at what is the quality of the person that we're developing in the school. So we make sure that, one, you have to get involved in many activities. First, you've got to get involved in sports. Because what sports does is sports develops your social skills. You learn to operate as a team. And when you operate as a team, then you build relationships. And all the successful entrepreneurs will tell you that today in business, you've got to be in a team, and a team is about relationships. So our model is all the products of Strathmore University have got to build relationships. Relationships through the alumni association, relationships through different aspects. But let me come down closer to the business school where I actually work. In the business school, when you've done your MBA, and I see one of our MBA alumni right here, during that program, what we do is we make sure that there are continuous cocktails every month, every quarter. The objective behind those cocktails is to build relationships between the MBA participants and the school, and the MBA participants and one another. Because what's going to happen is, you need that network later on, and at that point. In fact, it's said our MBA program is 1.5 million. But if you're able to build relationships during those cocktails, during the alumni functions, etc., you actually can get your return on investment before you even graduate. And it's happened before. Okay? The other things you do to show and leverage the value of relationship is the partnerships. What we have done is recognize that today you've got to build partnerships in order to leverage on the relationships. We have partnerships with several top business schools all over the world: Harvard, IESE in Europe, Nanyang in Singapore, SIBS in China, GIBS in South Africa. The idea is, the moment you get our participants to go to those particular locations, two things happen. One, it strengthens the relationship between the participants and those that they meet there. Secondly, it also helps to strengthen the relationship between us as a business school and that business school. And that's a model that we use over and over again in the business school. And now, closer to the programs, for example, I run the OMP program, Owner Manager program. I'm one of the faculty. I lead the family business program. What we do is we basically grow those programs through referrals. Once you run the program once or twice, to come out to those programs is basically about referrals. And I was invited to participate in the interview of the participants in that program, and out of 10 participants, 8 of them must say, I came onto this program, or I've come onto this program because of referrals. And referrals is all about relationships. So the relationship is actually part and parcel of the model that we use. And today I'm sure we're going to make lots of other relationships. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I think probably when you talk about relationships, and you say whether you want, how do you know whether someone's serious or not? Yes, initially when you start any business, or you are in a job even, and you start to sometimes do take you, like you say, not seriously, and do tell you, okay, they're thinking you're calling them 2-3 times for business, and you're actually looking for something else. But if you are very firm with what you need to do, what your intention is, then finally the message does go across. And it's not that bad as people make out, that you get segregated really. And if you're very, if you're intent on your work, then the message does come across. And it's like I said, after a while, I think people realize the way you talk, the way you portray yourself into that. So that's not so bad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There are very few people called Julia. I think I know another 2 or 3. And when I say guy, I mean man, right? Called Julia. No, it's actually a male name. But in my line of work, I'm involved in sending blind emails, right? So naturally, I'll send an email, introduce our company, our services, and everything. And it's not happened once or twice. It's happened many times. So someone will respond and say, oh, fantastic, I can't wait to meet you, let's do lunch. And of course, I happily oblige because I'm chasing a deal. And what usually happens, the next step will be send me your number. And you send all lines, Yeah. And then, so they start chatting you up, hey, where do you want to do lunch? What do you like eating? And I'm there like, it's free, And so usually one incident I fondly remember, this gentleman kept stringing me along. Of course, I have the upper hand because I know I'm talking to a guy. So we set the meeting on Wednesday lunchtime, pushed it to Thursday, pushed it to Friday. So on Friday he said, can we do breakfast? Then like an hour before says, I'm sorry, I can't do. And of course I'm very polite because he's a high stakes client, so I'm ready to go the mile with him. And then he pushed it to lunchtime. At lunchtime I called him, he said, no, I'm a bit busy, I'm in a high level meeting, let's talk at 5. He said, no, I'm a bit tight held up, but later I'll be doing drinks here, can you come? I said, no problem. So long and short, the meeting ended up at 10 p.m., Seasons Restaurant in town. So me, I rock up, very excited. And I'm texting him, where are you? And he says, just come to the corner. So when I go to the corner, of course, I already know that I know who I was going to look for. He doesn't know me. So I go and say, hi, I'm here. Let's do that. I mean, the color ran out of space. I called for the bill. So it was a lot of fun. So for once, I got a sense of what ladies go through. But suffice it, after that, he kept ignoring my calls, right? There's a lovely gentleman seated here who is bursting with ideas. I'd like you to say something about relationships. And the question I have for you, I don't know what line of business you're in, but I'd like to ask you maybe, have you ever had an incident, or do you have relationships you've had that after a point came, it now was not making sense for the business? So they are your friend, yes, a good acquaintance, but now on the business front, so now you start sending him to another officer so that he can tell them no. Welcome.
Good evening. I think it's an interesting discussion about relationship. My name is George Washiri. I'm a servant with a company called Optinet Limited. We ensure that every Kenyan have got a house, and that's our business. And those within the houses, they keep investing. So we specialize on land investment. Buy big land, put the entire infrastructure, water, roads, trees, and you come there and you partner with us, you develop it, you do your own house, or we do for you. My comment is about relationship. Of course, like people like Optinet, we are dealing with land, we are dealing with investments. And in Kenya, they say 3 out of 5 people have lost money, including myself. I've lost money when I was starting business. So for us, it's very, very key to develop relationship with our clients. And for me, one of the challenges I have is that I have very many friends. And for us, we sell our properties all installments, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So this friend came and bought 1.5 acres, ready to develop houses for sale. And the first 4 installments were coming in very well. Later on, she started delaying. When you delay for about 4 months, we recover and refund you back the money. But we are very close. So the same month, so it was very challenging, and I discovered that sometimes being too close for business purposes, I think it's not very healthy. It's good to keep some professional distance so that when the things don't work out, we can go to our learned friend, Wakili here, and say, please, can you do something? However, the business of tomorrow is basically a relationship because people buy people.
So, talking about needy clients, Kevin Mulei, you're in the service industry. tell me your experience with needy clients, because I think that's what you're talking about. I mean, they paid for the job, not for the therapy, yeah? Maybe you can share with us in your line of work, that is the events industry. How do you manage needy clients? Because like the gentleman said, I'm sure the issue is you need to grow the business. So unless they're going to pay you a retainer, or they're going to be the major, that anchor client, sometimes it's self-defeating. Kevin.
All right, good evening. You'll find in our space of work, you'll find a client, a good example, maybe they're overseas and they have gone to your website, they have figured out what exactly they want, they have gone to your competitor website, they know what they want and they're very sure. Then they ask you for quotation, you send the quotation, but they want every day, like someone saying this, someone who wants to keep on talking to you every day, to keep on reducing, we call it Wekator. Which Wekator is good, sometimes they're genuine, but you'll find most of the time, the client is not very sure. However, as business people, we must put a certain limit to some of these things. Otherwise, some of the clients it will be a position of them taking advantage of us. And so, I do believe the needy clients, they need sensitive, you need to handle them in a specific way, but we need to put some structures that actually do protect you and protect them. Because part of that conversation can go west, where you feel this is too much, so just rock up to someone else. So one, they need to be handled in a sensitive way. Secondly, in our businesses we might need, or rather we need, to put some structures that will be able to protect us.
I want to wrap up the session there, and I'm going to ask Daniel and Lawrence to give us their parting shots, and then we start building those relationships. So first off, Daniel, is anything you'd like to share before you go on parting shot, based on everything you've heard?
Only on behalf of Salim, watch The Scoop, 7 o'clock Tuesday nights on KBC.
And I'll charge everyone for marketing. I've been taking notes, right? There's a fee for mentions.
For me, it's just, I'm not sure something that's come out very well. What do you do when a relationship is absolutely not working? And it's a critical one. I think for me, in about 15 years of working, it was a relationship with a boss. So, had a change of management. I worked with an absolutely difficult person to work with.
You can use the word you want to use.
But we had a fantastic working relationship. Then got a very petite, soft, quiet boss, and she and I could not get along. So what do you do when that relationship, it got to a point where we talk to each other through intermediaries. If she comes in country, I don't meet her, I send, so what do you do? And I think one of my takeouts was understand their perspective. So I was coming from the point of view of, you've just come in. I ran a highly successful unit, and you don't rock the boat too much. What I didn't understand from her point of view